and welcome back to the PrideFT. The FT stands for Football Thoughts. We are back for another summer edition episode. Pre-season has officially begun. The heat... oh, wait, no, we're in England. There is no heat.
Rain.
There's rain. And today there are a swarm of flying ants that I swear down only appeared after I got out of the cinema a few hours ago. Very strange happenings going on in England and probably on the rest of the globe. Talking of strange happenings, we have officially breached 108 subscribers. And to celebrate that with me, I'm joined by my illustrious co-host as ever, Clark. Clark, how are you?
How's it going? 108 subscriber roonies.
Yes,
mate, absolutely made up. Honestly.
Yeah, it's I mean, I felt like we were on like 40 for ages, which is pretty cool already. Yeah. And then, I guess it was that Liverpool clip, I think, that did it for us.
Turns out chatting shit gets you subs.
Exactly. Funny how that works.
Expect more.
Yeah. So if you are one of those new subscribers over the last week or so, thank you so much for joining us. Hopefully you can stick around and keep an eye on what we're doing and, keep us in check if we get too mental. Obviously, we can only react to the circus that is Chelsea Football Club. So the more mental they get, the more mental we get. I think that's kind of how it works.
Yeah, that's how it works.
And as ever, there is a lot of news to talk about. I actually did my notes very nice and early today. I did it about 1 p.m. But then, as I said, I was in the cinema, so I got out and I was worried. Oh no, what major season-changing event has happened since I've been in the cinema?
Four news. Four in like 4 hours. What's going on, man?
It's ridiculous, but, this is Chelsea Football Club. This is what it's all about. Before we get into the club news or anything like that, it's worth reminding people we are recording today, the 19th of July. We have 25 days until our first Premier League game of the 23-24 season, and we're all very, very excited for it to come around. Mauricio Pochettino's first season in charge of the Mighty Blues.
Indeed.
But
sorry, just to say, we are playing tonight as well against Wrexham.
You're right.
Pre-season thing. It is on at 12:30 or half midnight for us in the UK, and I'm not going to watch it, but I'll watch some highlights and that. I wish I could watch it. I would watch it, but honestly, if there's a full game somewhere, I'll watch it because I actually quite like Wrexham as well. See how they're getting on.
Yeah.
Hopefully we slap them. I mean, I would expect it. They are in League 1, 2 Championship. One of them.
They just got into League 2. It'd be nice. It would be nice. It'd be cool to see, Ryan and Rob on the sidelines. I'm sure they will be watching in. Yeah. Although it is in where is it?
It's in the USA.
Yeah, but
they'll be there somewhere, bruv.
Yeah, they'll be there. Yeah. They've got enough money to fly over there. So I mean, good luck. Obviously, if you're not a UK watcher, enjoy that, I guess.
Enjoy that, yeah.
Or even if you are, enjoy that. If you're happy to stay up and watch that game.
Talking about pre-seasons, right? Did you see the Bayern Munich score?
27-0. Yeah, very, very normal game. Very normal game.
Oh, yeah. We're 18-0 up at half-time, I saw on Twitter.
Yeah,
I was like...
What's going on? What's the point of this pre-season
go home,
game?
Lads.
Yeah,
go
I know.
Home.
I know.
There's nothing there for you.
Do you reckon when they came out half-time, they did the whole Sunday league? Like, that's right, lads, it's 0-0. It's 0-0, lads. Come on. Exactly.
Yeah. First goal wins.
Yeah. Well, apparently they played them a few times over the last few years.
Yeah. They've been scored twice.
Yeah, exactly. It's like a 72 to 2 swing of goals.
72 aggregate.
Oh, see, that's how good Bayern are in Germany. All right, let's get into the club news then, the Chelsea club news. We're starting out with the breaking story from yesterday. Oh dear, our talented young French centre-back, Wesley Fofana.
I'm going to cry.
Look, in the notes here, so I've kind of charted out the journey. So we got the news broke the day before yesterday. Wesley Fofana has not travelled with Chelsea squad due to a knee injury, which is currently being assessed. Marcus Bettinelli, Badiashile and Broja will also remain as they are recovering from their own injuries. So I thought, okay, fair enough, add it to the injury list. That's a bit peak. These things happen, right? Yeah. Then yesterday we find out from the club statement that it was in fact an ACL injury for Wesley Fofana, which in some cases can be a season ender even before the season has begun.
Yeah, and he had emergency surgery on it. That which isn't good. I mean, with when Broja done his, I know that it was a couple of weeks, wasn't it, to assess it to see if he needed surgery.
Sure. I don't remember.
I can't remember. But the thing with Brozier is, like, obviously, as you said, it might be a season ender, which it probably is. Let's be honest. Let's just face fact. It probably is a season ender.
Oh yeah.
But with Brozier, he's back in training now. When did he do his? November, was it? So
I'm just checking it
I think
now.
it was
Yeah,
November.
December.
It was around
December. It
was
was
it December?
friendly. Yeah.
So apparently that's really quick for recovery.
Yeah.
I think we said that in the last podcast or podcast before. One of the medical people was like, "You've recovered like ridiculous, like Wolverine quick."
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you know he's only took what 7 months, 6 months to get back to playing
Yeah.
fitness.
Yeah.
There's no guarantee Wesley Fofana is going to be a baddie shield. You know, we don't know
Yeah.
if he's got adamantium skin like him.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
or, or bones even. So
Yeah.
yeah, we'll see what happens. But you know, we wish Wesley the best. Bloody gutted, absolutely gutted.
How do you think this affects our season? Do you think we have to go in for another centre back now?
We might have to. I'm not
Yeah.
gonna lie, we might have to, because I think Wesley was going to be one of our main ones. If we had any talks about getting rid of Chalobah, it's out the window. It's out the window, bruv.
Yeah.
Keep him at this is ridiculous, because you got to think, okay, get rid of Chalobah, and then what? We got to buy someone else, right? Keep Chalobah. We got 5 still, haven't we? I think, or 4 or 5, something like that.
Four senior.
4 seniors,
and I guess there are. If you tweak things, you could probably play other players in that position if you really had to.
Yeah, so we've got a little bit of leeway there. It's not it's not all doom and gloom.
No.
But if we do buy another person, then when next season, when Wesley comes back, and inevitably he's going to be probably better than the person that we buy.
Yeah.
What do you do then?
Yeah.
Because then you've got an extra body on your hands.
Yeah.
Extra payments, extra weeklies, everything like that. So it's like a catch-22 really. But I think we shouldn't. Personally, I think we shouldn't go for anyone. What do you think?
No, I agree. Actually, I think that it would be a bit of a squad building nightmare, unless you bring in somebody on
ridiculously levels, like who we're going to play constantly.
Yeah. But we need to spend money elsewhere, really. And I think that our kind of collection of the 4 that we have in our squad right now is good enough to see out a season where, if we, let's not forget, we've only got 1 game a week for the whole season. Do you know what I mean? We haven't got Champions League, we haven't even got Europa, we haven't even got conference to worry about. So we've just got a bit of FA Cup, we've got a bit of League Cup, and we got, a league season. So we don't need 5 centre-backs, I don't think. And as I said, if one of them gets injured, Reece James can fill in at centre-back. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like, so I don't think it's that deep.
A Cuckoo or a Chilwell can even fill in a little bit.
Yeah, I'm sure. Literally.
Centre back. Yeah. So it's like, it's not all doom and gloom. I mean, we've got bloody Levi Colwill there, so exactly. We're flying, really. We're flying.
Yeah.
So we'll touch on a little bit of our other defenders a little bit later. Our next story is going to be Reece James, inevitably ill again, feeling unwell. On Monday morning, so he's not travelling to the USA as a precaution. He'll join up with the Chelsea squad as soon as he's better. So we're just hoping it's a little bit of a sniffle, a little bit of a cold.
I guess I hope so. I mean, what day are we on now? It's Wednesday now, and I don't think he's there yet. So,
mate, honestly, pop down the co-op, right? Get some paracetamol.
Exactly.
Man up.
That's all you can
do. I know
you're
not meant to say that these days. You're not allowed to man up.
Have a lemon sip. Have a lemon sip. Have a lemon sip. Drink some water, you know what I mean? Eat some fruit, and take a vitamin C tab.
Have some Monster. Get it down you and go.
Bit of a weird one, obviously. Nerve wracking because he's had injuries. So in my head, I was like, "Oh, what's going on here?" But it does say he's just.
As soon as I saw he's not going, I'm like,
"Yeah, maybe they were like." It might be COVID, so let's just play it safe and just not jump him on a plane.
A thing anymore?
Yeah, it's still a thing, but it's just we're just not worried about it as much. But it still happens. So yeah, bit of a weird one, but as it said, he should join the squad as soon as he's better, and hopefully he's better soon. Funnily enough, actually, I was in Hounslow the other day at the school that he went to. So that's good.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Nothing more to add. Really.
No, that's it. Okay, nice.
So next one
What's
then,
next? Yeah.
more squad news. Yeah, Amari Hutchinson and Harvey Vale have both been left out of the travelling squad for the USA preseason tour.
Usa.
This should allow them to concentrate on securing loan moves away from Chelsea. I'm seeing a lot of heavy interest apparently from Ipswich for Amari Hutchinson. I don't know what league Ipswich play in. I think it's a championship. Let me
I
quickly
think they're
Google
both
that.
ballers, you know. To be like loaned out is not too bad, but they're both ballers, and I think like if you, I mean, Ipswich isn't too bad.
No, they're not. I didn't follow them last season.
I
But
know
they
that they
are.
got promoted, didn't they?
They did, yeah. So they're in the championship. So they are, that's a good level to be at
Oh,
the championship.
definitely, yeah.
For a young player like Hutchinson.
Yeah, and he'll
And,
actually get game time there as well.
Exactly.
So,
In theory, he should play, and that's all you want, really.
Where's-
Harvey Vale, I
was
haven't
gonna say,
seen. I haven't seen any news about where he could end up. But again, another pretty talented and I think well-regarded player.
Very.
In the football world. So I doubt he'll struggle to find a team to go to. But we'll just have to keep an eye on that, basically.
Yeah, good luck to both of them if they do go to out on loan. Hopefully they get some game time, come back next year, stronger, better, faster,
Yeah.
and always a blue. So let's just we've mentioned the USA tour again and again and again, which is, by the way, sponsored by where did I put it? It's sponsored by Vivid Seats Ticket Marketplace. Wow, if anyone's actually bothered. But our full squad going out to the USA is our goalkeepers are Kepa, Arrizabalaga, Salonina, Bergstorm, Beach, and Cumming. And then defenders are Silva, Chalobah, Chilwell, Cucurella, Gusto, Humphreys, Colwill, Matson, and Gilchrist. Then we've got midfielders Enzo, Gallagher, Chukwuemeka, Santos, Kasadi, and Hall. And then our forwards we've got Mudryk, Sterling, Madueke, Gabriel, Morera,
yeah, that's it, yeah.
Jackson, and Kunku, Burstow, and Dujon Richards. You know, is it?
That's Whisper. That's our Whisper.
Yeah, I was good. It says training only though.
Yeah, training only. I don't know how they can decide that.
Oh,
Maybe
come on, throw him on.
Literally, give him a go. Go on, give the lad a go.
Go on. Treat yourself.
So a lot of people on Twitter were absolutely bedwetting at the sight of this squad list.
Bedwetting.
Well, I don't know. When you see this squad list, what do you think? Does it fill you with hope? Are there enough ballers in that squad? It's a bit nerve-wracking, bro. I can't lie.
You know,
it makes you really realise how many players have gone and how different the squad is.
Okay, you want my honest opinion?
Yeah,
I think we need a new goalkeeper.
Oh well, yeah. I mean, yes.
That's right. So let's go through it. Defenders: Silva, class. Chalobah, keep him, class.
Yeah.
Didn't really want him to go. If he was to go, only a loan, please. Chilwell, stay fit, my Don. Cucurella, sack him off. Gusto, amazing. Little link up coming soon with Turkey, hopefully. Humphreys,
I've only seen him play once. I
was going to
say,
yeah, he's meh. He's there to fill in, you know. Colwill, bowler. Matson, bowler.
Had a really good season at Burnley in the Championship.
Yeah. Gilchrist, all right, not bad.
Yeah.
So, you know, our defence, I think we're good defence. We're missing that for Fana, man. We are missing that for Fana, aren't we? And obviously we're missing James there as well. So
yeah.
Midfielders, I think we've got a pretty solid midfield there. Enzo, Gallagher, Chukwuemeka, that Santos is fucking outrageous. Kasadi and Hall. I think Hall's a baller, by the way. I love Hall.
Good player.
If we get Casado in there, woo, Jesus.
Tasty.
And then forwards, I think Mudryk, class. I think under Pochettino, I've said it so many times, I'll say it bloody again, right? Under Pochettino, he is going to thrive.
Comeback
season. To fries.
Yeah.
Fries.
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 Yes, please.
Fries. Sterling, he came into his own a little bit at the end of the season.
Good player. He'll be all right.
Very struggling. Hopefully under Poch, he can do something. Madueke, fucking love the guy. Gabriel, not too bad. Morera, Don't know him. Do I know him? I don't know. Have I seen
He's
him?
just we just got him on a free from Benfica, the
Okay,
18-year-old
no,
winger.
no, I haven't seen
So
him.
no,
No, Nicholas Jackson, quality, and Kunku, quality, Burstow, don't know him, and the Whisper is just a baller. So I think we're okay, not amazing.
yeah, I think it's worth mentioning that that squad obviously doesn't include people like Reece James, who will be in the first
Exactly.
team
Yeah,
setup.
yeah,
It will also include people like Broja. It will also include Badia Shield.
yeah,
So there are obviously a few players left at home who are recovering from their own
yeah,
injuries, and we will make signings as well.
yeah.
This isn't the you know
No, we've got a month and
this
a
isn't
half left,
everyone.
boys. Come on.
Yeah, I know. That's why that's why I kind of thought to bring it up. Like,
Yeah,
are people just like panicking too much,
yeah,
worrying too much?
definitely. I think all we need there is a goalkeeper, because
I
I
definitely,
can't
yeah.
trust Kepa.
Yeah, I definitely think, yeah, new goalkeeper. We definitely need one more midfielder, and then I'm happy just to run it back with who we have up front and intact. We've got enough names there.
Yeah,
Not all of them are going to be that involved, but maybe some of them will be more than we think. But this is clearly this has been it's just been, as I said before, it's been a major shift in our squad. So many names that we've gotten used to, and although we might be frustrated, you get comfortable with names, don't you? So like if you see a Mount in a squad, you're just like, oh, it's Mount. I know what he brings me. I know what he doesn't. I'm comfortable.
fuck all these days.
Yeah, so we are true. But obviously there are a lot of names in here that we've never really seen be a major part of our squad. So it's a bit nerve wracking. So I get the kind of apprehension of people, but I think this squad is, with the additions I mentioned, who will be there, but come the beginning of the season. I think we'll easily be a top 6 seat team.
I think it's solid. I think it's quite solid.
Yeah,
yeah. It's just honestly, Kepa.
And it's a lot of it's a lot of players who have got a point to prove and who want to show what they can do in the Premier League.
The
Premier League. So I think it's a good mixture of there's a lot of ambition in that squad. So
there is, and a lot of young people under Pochettino.
Yes, which has worked in the past.
Good all round. So we move on. Moving on. What we got?
Leeds United, Dirty Leeds have signed Ethan Ampadu in a deal worth 7 million plus add-ons. This is via Phil Hay on Twitter. Chelsea will include a sell-on clause in the deal, which is a good idea, with Leeds for Ethan Ampadu.
Quality.
Yeah, I mean, his career is obviously gone quite strange. The guy is literally 22 still. He's like super young. His career has barely begun, really. We signed him from Exeter, I think in 2016.
Jesus.
Yeah, he's only 22, bro. He's born in 2000. Yeah, 2016 as a 16-year-old. I actually remember seeing him pre-match in a FA Cup game against Nottingham Forest we had, I think back in 2016, 2017. I remember remarking to Dad that look at this kid, we just signed him from Exeter. He's just turned 16. Yeah. At that time, he had all of his long dreads. And I was really impressed by his 2-footedness. Yeah. And people were spraying balls to him from all over the pitch while they were warming up, and his touch was immaculate. And I was like, wow, that is techie as hell.
And
like
to be
that young. Yeah, I know, to be that young. I think a lot of people have said he was kind of being a victim to his versatility because he can play centre back, because he can play in midfield. It can be tough for people like that because nobody maybe thinks you're so good at one position. They want to see you do multiple positions.
Bit of an RLC.
Yeah, maybe in a way. Probably like less naturally talented than RLC, or less, what's the word? Maybe less, it doesn't catch your eye as much as RLC used to. Yeah. But no, I think about it this way, right? He's 22. Yeah. He's got over 100 senior appearances for clubs all over Europe, which includes like RB Leipzig and Spezia in Italy. So he's played in multiple European leagues, and he's also got over 40 appearances for the Wales national team. Yeah, so he's been trusted for a long time in his national team.
Baller, really.
He is a good player, and I think actually Leeds should count themselves lucky. This is a really good deal for them, and I mean that. And that's why I said the sell-on clause will be clutch for us. Yeah, because I honestly see him. Give him a full season in the Championship. He's going to be trusted. He's part of that squad now, permanently. I reckon he's gonna put in some really good performances, and we'll show people people what he can do. He definitely belongs in the Premier League. I believe that.
For 7 mil,
that's a bargain.
To
get someone, as I said, you don't often get a full international player who's played over nearly 50
definitely
games for
not.
their country for less than 10 mil. That doesn't
No.
often happen unless they're from Kazakhstan.
I would have
So
liked him to stay,
yeah,
just see what Pochettino could do with him.
yeah, it would have been. And now, obviously, this deal has probably been in the making for a few weeks, I imagine.
Definitely, yeah.
So the paperwork was probably signed before it happened. But now that obviously Fofana's injured, it would have been nice to have around in the squad because he would have fit in perfectly. But this is football, and these things happen. So we just have to move on. Good luck to him.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Good luck to him. Good luck to Leeds in the championship, really. And yeah, see how they do.
Yeah, I'll be keeping an eye on him.
Where are we? What's next? Hang on. Chelsea have completed the signing of. Well, I mentioned him before, but no one knew.
Yeah.
Signing of Angelo Gabriel from Santos, 18-year-old right winger from Santos in Brazil. 3 goals in 95 senior games.
Yeah.
Deal reportedly around about 13 mil. 95 senior games at 18.
Again, yeah, very
Brilliant.
impressive.
Brilliant.
Yeah, very
3
impressive.
goals.
It's a bit dead, Brev. I can't lie. It's a bit dead. It's not Neymar numbers, but then Neymar's generational talent. So
yeah,
there's nothing to say this guy can't come into his own. I think it's easy to forget. 18. We can't ever expect somebody to come from Brazil as an 18-year-old and just absolutely fly straight into Premier League
you
action.
don't even know what life is at 18. It's
true, yeah, literally. I don't actually know if he even has a visa to play in England.
Probably
I think
not. No one ever does.
Yeah, I think he might be okay to play in the pre-season tour because it's in the US.
Okay. Yeah, it's US.
And he may have to go on loan to Strasbourg because we can do that now, and run it back that way. But we don't really know, to be honest, until. Or I don't really know off the top of my head. I don't think he could play in the Premier League.
Have you seen anything of him?
I've seen absolutely nothing of him.
Nice. Same. Yeah, we're good journalists here.
We are good. I know we've done our work, haven't we? I mean, as it said in the information, he's young. He's 18. He's a right winger who he's a right winger with a left foot.
3 goals in 95 senior games is dead.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
It is. Of course, it is pretty dead. It's not
but
very
then,
impressive.
95 senior games. You're not some of them might be just 10-minute little cameos or 5-minute cameos right at the end.
Yeah,
so
true.
They're not all going to be starting, are they? So
no, that's true.
You got to take that into account.
Yeah, and you got to think as well, a lot of those games he was playing, a few years ago when he was a 16-year-old.
Exactly,
do you know what I mean?
exactly.
Quite a few of those games are from when he was 16, 17. And, I don't know much about the Brazilian league, but I do know it's very physical and, there are a lot of bastards in that league who will absolutely leave one on you. So, it's doesn't surprise me that would be the case. He has also got 7 assists as well, so that's worth mentioning. But yeah, I mean... Just another interesting new name that nobody had heard of.
Another one.
Before he signed, and
DJ Curl.
We'll have to keep an eye on him, and hopefully, he can be that guy for us.
That guy, bro.
Marseille and Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang have agreed a 2-year deal.
Good.
However, Chelsea are wanting nearly €6 million. This is on Twitter via Le Michenois.
That's not much.
I believe that's how you pronounce it. It's not much at all. Yeah, just go, bro, innit? You know what I mean? Just go, bro.
Aubameyang for 6 mil.
He's part of this thing they're calling the bomb squad back at the training ground of players who aren't coming to the preseason tour and are just waiting to be sold. So we're talking Oba, we're talking Ziyech, we're talking Romelu.
That didn't sound good, did it? The bomb squad.
No.
Yeah,
no, sorry. Callum Hudson-Odoi. Well, that's the news squad. That's a newspaper phrase. That's a newspaper phrase they're using. Yeah. Because it's people they just need to get rid of, just sell. It might be racially motivated. I don't know.
I was going to say,
I don't know if it is.
Yeah.
But yeah, so he's part of that crew. He is going. I'm pretty sure Pochettino did an interview yesterday, and where they asked him about all these players, and he was like, "Look, man, this is the best situation for everyone involved. We're trying to get them a good deal. They're trying to get a good deal. This is just what it's got to be." So. Yeah, I mean,
I don't know why we got him in the first place.
I know it's terrible. I mean, that's Tuchel for you. The guy, his transfer record is terrible. So yeah, I mean, good luck to him. He'll probably do okay in France. He's Gabonese, but I think he grew up in France, so he speaks French. He'll fit in nicely. Right. He'll be all right.
To be fair, in Marseille, it'd be all right. To be fair,
yeah.
Christian Pulisic on leaving Chelsea, he said, "There are definitely times where I wish I could have gone what? There was plenty of times where I wish I could have got more of an opportunity to and been that guy, but for whatever reason, that's not the case. You know why? Because you're not that guy.
Yeah,
That's what it is. You're not
yeah,
that guy. You're not Captain America. You go back to America, right? Everybody celebrates you like you're the fucking new coming of Jesus,
yeah,
right? You are not that guy. You're on the bench for Chelsea. Like it's,
yeah,
bro. You've never been that guy either. Like even when you was fast, you've
yeah,
lost your way. You lost your
yeah.
way. You don't care anymore. You see him, right? I don't know, like playing in World Cup and that. You see him playing for the USA, and he's like 10 times as good as he is at Chelsea. Like there's no passion there for Chelsea at all. The bloke's a waste of time. So yeah. What's your thoughts on that statement?
Well, yeah, I mean, I think he's had loads of opportunities, to be honest. Like he's played a lot of
Yeah,
football.
loads.
He's had multiple opportunities to like really cement his place in the squad, but he's just so inconsistent and could very rarely put it together for a string
Exactly.
of games. And if you want to be a top player and cement yourself in a starting lineup,
Yeah.
like bloody Hazard,
Yeah.
then you have to turn up more often than not.
Game
And
after game. It
game
can't just
after
be
game.
one game and you're the
Yeah,
guy.
I know.
The guy
exactly.
isn't made in one game. The guy is made in a season.
Exactly.
Like Haaland. He's
Yeah.
the guy.
He's the guy,
fucking
man. He did it, bro. He's just banged in goals for the whole season.
Exactly.
So yeah, I had a chuckle at this when I saw it, and it's kind of representative of like this guy's, his attitude, you know what I mean, and like the way that he sees himself in the game.
Yeah.
I will be keeping an eye on his performances in Milan, not because I really care, but I want to see how bad he does, basically, which is a bit hatery of me. But you know what? I'm in that mood, okay? Because it's been a summer of, snakes, really, isn't it? And I think
Summer of Snakes. What a
it has been
title.
the summer of snakes. Oh,
Ooh.
hello. Maybe
Hello.
we'll work that.
Hello.
Easy. Normally we struggle with the title, but not this week. Yeah, the summer of snakes
Summer
is
of
upon
Snakes.
us. And they're all coming out and mugging us off. So yeah,
Writing
note
that
that down.
down.
Note that down. I'll go on to the next story in the meantime. Confirmed. Chelsea and Tempest X have partnered to deliver fans with the best experience in streaming and live content, starting with the game against Wrexham in the USA on July the 19th, i.e. this evening.
Yay.
This is via the Chelsea website. The game at Chapels Hill Keenan Memorial Stadium, bit of a mouthful, will see the launch of the new Tempest X technology.
Tempest X technology.
The product is called MatchView X,
Oh
meaning
my God.
for the first time ever, Chelsea will enable fans to tailor their match viewing experience by turning on or off graphic overlays, statistics,
Wow.
play-by-play match events, and real-time player tracking, or watching instant highlights of key moments.
So what you're telling me is basically they're BT Sports.
Yeah, exactly. So if you're in the UK and you use BT Sports and you're used to their overlay features and their kind of cool little gimmicky things they do, this is basically going to be it, or it'll be a lot better. We don't really know until we see it.
It's for an app. It's for the website. It's not for a TV. It's going to be shite.
No, that's true. It'll just be on the Chelsea website, won't it? Or on the Chelsea app. Look, I have a young baby. He's up all during the night. Maybe I'll be up with him at the same time, and maybe I'll catch a bit of the game.
You never know.
By accident.
Maybe he wants to catch a bit of the game.
Yeah,
You know
true.
what I mean?
True. He might be interested. And then maybe I can have a look at this. But I don't actually know how this is going to be rolled out. But it is going to be rolled out on this next game. So I'll have a look and I'll report back next week.
Because I'm interested in all that tech stuff. But
yeah,
like
I think football. Football could do a lot of. I think football could do a lot of cooler things than it does.
Yeah, a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I don't know if you guys seen right on Instagram, Twitter, Twitterverse, everywhere.
Yeah.
On the Chelsea official Chelsea thing, they posted a little video of a coach coming out of like a building thing.
Yes.
And like the drapes going up, and then the coaches come out, and it's all CGI, right?
Okay. Oh, I did see that. Yeah, I did see that.
Terrible CGI, right? The bus is floating as it's coming out of the car park, right? One, and then its shadow doesn't move naturally.
Yeah.
And I'm a geek for all that shit. I just watched it like, sorry, we're a multi-billion pound club, and we're paying for shite. I could do better than that. Like, we're paying for shit CGI like that, and you're talking about this Tempest X shit. If it's the same people, we're fucked. Like, they can't even. like the bus was floating, fam. The wheel wasn't on the ground.
Do you know what? What's worse?
Basics.
I didn't even notice that.
No.
I thought, okay, yeah, fair enough, cool man, yeah, whatever. I didn't even notice that. So fuck, bloody hell,
Mate,
I'm a boomer.
honestly,
I'm officially a boomer.
CGI terrible on that. So if that was 10% had done that, I have no hope. But anyway, it doesn't really matter because it's just got to be preseason stuff and friendlies because they're not allowed to show anything else. So who cares? The board breaking news. The board of trustees for Stoll has agreed in principle to sell the majority of its Sir Oswald Stoll mansion site in Fulham to the Chelsea ownership group. What does this mean?
Right, okay. I'm going to try my best. So I believe this is the veterans. Obviously, we're called the pensioners. We're next door to a major facility that is to do with the Chelsea pensioners.
Yep.
They have a massive link with our club. I believe this board, this as you said, majority of it's Sir Oswald Stoll mansions. I believe that is next door to us. I think to our right, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah.
Yeah. And obviously, we've struggled for years to redevelop our stadium because we just don't have the space to go out. And because we have the Chelsea pitch owners, they won't let the club in any of its ownership groups move away from the site, which is fair enough. It's our kind of spiritual home. So obviously we've been stuck for years. We want to redevelop. We're a club who needs a redeveloped stadium. Although I don't think Stamford Bridge is as bad as many of the other old stadiums, but in terms of size and capacity and facilities, we have a new ownership group who wants to basically get as many commercial opportunities out of us as possible, and you can't do that with our our kind of stadium that was built a long time ago. Anyway, this came via Jacob Steinberg, by the way, on Twitter earlier on. I got a quote from the Stoll Veterans Twitter page, which says, "Today we have announced that we have confirmed a sale in principle of the majority." Oh wait, have you already said this?
No. Basically, yeah.
Basically, anyway, I'll say it again. Of the majority of our Fulham site to Chelsea FC ownership group, subject to resident consultation, which begins today. That's key. The proposed sale would enable us to establish new properties and better services for veterans. So I'm guessing they want to sell this quite lucrative bit of land to build somewhere else, cheaper and where they can house people better. Ray Locke, who is the chair of the Stoll Veterans Charity, had this to say on Twitter as well. "This is such an important step towards improving the standard of housing and support services that Stoll Veterans provides across 5 sites and via outreach. Stress, though, this announcement is in principle and subject to resident consultation."
Okay.
Now, that basically means, I don't know if you've heard the phrase NIMBY before, but it's not in my backyard is what it means. And it's normally reserved for people who oppose any kind of like building work that happens near their house because, God forbid God forbid there are enough houses to house people to make things cheaper, right? So we could run into an issue where the residents in the consultation of the nearby area say, we don't want this to happen. We don't want the club to own that land. We don't want them to redevelop for years. And we're kind of back to square one. So in terms of redevelopment, this could be a really important step, but it's not done until it's done. But it is an interesting, it's an interesting bit of news and worth keeping an eye on because it's clear that the new ownership group are just trying to do bits basically and trying to completely revolutionize the club.
Well, yeah, but I mean, as you said, like with the resident consultation, we're hoping that they just go, go on, sound, don't worry about it. Yeah. But, you get a lot of old biddies, you get a lot of old people that are, you can't teach an old dog new tricks and all that stuff. So it's one of those. And if you've been living there or around that area or whatever, like, you're so used to it, you don't want anything to change. People are afraid of change.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a big one. Hopefully, we can drop some, brown envelopes off and ease it.
Cheeky.
See what happens there.
Maybe some free season passes.
Hello,
I might just go and squat in a building now, and then they come round, knock on the door. Right, I'm off. They're like, "Hello, are you a resident?" I'm like, "Yes, hello, I'm a resident. I've been here for years. Hello,
hello.
Do you oppose us buying this land?" "Yes, I really do oppose it."
£5 grand.
Yes. what would it take to move you out and you not to oppose it? Well, maybe a season ticket or two would be great. And a Nando's black card would be lovely. I love that chicken.
Nando's black card.
Yeah,
no, you're pushing your luck there.
I want a Nando's black card and a season ticket. A season ticket for life. In fact, thank you.
Wow.
Oh, and I'll also have the new home kit. Thank you. So that's basically what I would do.
With no sponsor.
Yes, and I want the no sponsor version. I don't want the shit sponsor that's coming later on. Thank you. Amazing. So that's basically how I think it's going to go.
Cheers, mate. Cheers.
No worries.
Anyway, moving on. Shall we mention it again? Brighton, another reject. So yeah, Caicedo, Brighton have rejected our 17 millionth bid for Caicedo, bid of about 70 million. They basically said they value him at 100 plus because of the old Basmati rice. So yeah, Chelsea expected to reassess their situation, maybe move on, and be like, oh, Brighton, grow up. And go and get someone else. So, Caicedo's camp are pushing for a speedy resolution to the negotiations. As we previously discussed, he does want to move here because everything is beautiful. The city is beautiful.
It's beautiful. It's all historic.
It's historic. So, yeah, he loves the old Blues. There will be face-to-face talks in America, apparently. Caicedo's agent is prepared to also attend if needed. Like, that's something. Like, that's like... Get on a Zoom call, grow up. So, anyway, he's like, I'll also attend if needed, provided Chelsea pay for all the travel.
Of course. And a lovely slap-up lunch.
Nice little first class, please.
This, to me, is like one of those stories that reminds me a bit like how when we were talking about Mason Mount every week and talking about Lukaku every week.
It's dragging.
I'm sick and tired of talking about Brighton and talking about
I don't
Caicedo.
want him anymore.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? At this point, I'm like, just fuck him, bro. There's got to be someone else out there who can do our job.
But way less.
Yeah, because the money they're going to be holding out for is ridiculous. And again, it's not my money. I don't care if they pay it. Pay it, get it done. If that's a player you want, he's clearly a good player. But this is so boring to keep hearing this name, and the ITKs, the football journalists on Twitter, are just saying the same thing every day. Talks are progressing. Caicedo's agents are annoyed. Caicedo is annoyed. Caicedo loves Chelsea.
Pricks. I hate Brighton. I used to like Brighton.
Yeah, I know. Me too. They used to be lovable.
Wankers.
And then they start getting up. They start getting uppity because they had one season where they finished above us, bro.
We came sixth. We came sixth.
Check us out. I can't, bro. When did they even last win a trophy?
We got European football. Fuck off.
I think they last won a League Cup in like 1901 or something, bro. They're trying to, and they think that Colwell's going to go to them, bro. Like it's a step up in the right.
I'm sorry, but they're demanding over 100 mil, right? Because Basmati Rice went to fucking Arsenal, and it's just like Caicedo is not on that stature of what's it called? Not like skill wise, but like how he's perceived. And it's just like you can't just be like, oh yeah, because he like it doesn't make sense. And then they're like, oh yeah, can we have Colwell for 35 mil? And we're like, are you actually skunked?
Yeah,
like,
they're taking the mick.
You're taking the piss, bro.
Yeah, look, bro, English Super Cup winner 1910-1911 season. That's the only trophy they won apart from promotion.
110 years ago.
Yeah.
Grow up.
Bots, bro. Fucking bots. Chelsea are considering whether to attempt a reunion with Crystal Palace's Mark Gurhey after Wesley Fofana's injury. I'm guessing this dropped today while I was in the cinema.
It did, yeah.
They aren't interested in Man United's Harry Maguire. Hallelujah.
There is a saviour.
I've been sweating since when I saw those rumours, and I knew it was agent bullshit because his agent is going to be desperate to find him a club. I was sweating. I was like, no, this can't be. This can't happen.
No one wants Slabhead.
Not my club. Not my club.
No.
Thankfully, that won't happen, and I knew it won't happen unless something terrible happens. Mark Gurhey, good player, came out of our academy, knows our club, knows a lot of the players in our squad. Well, maybe he doesn't anymore, but he certainly used to. Decent player. As we said earlier, though, I don't think we need to go out and panic buy a new centre back. I think we've got good enough options that we can see out this season with. So I wouldn't. And Palace, he hasn't been there. He's been there 2 years. Palace are going to ask for an arm and a leg. I don't think it's worth the hassle, to be honest.
I don't think we need him either. I'm just so happy that Harry Maguire is out of the picture. And if we are like just imagining him in a Chelsea kit makes
Makes
me
me sick.
sick.
He just,
And
oh god, it's
he's just one, he's an ugly cunt, and two,
yeah,
he's shit at football, and
and
three, he's
and
overpriced.
yeah, and also, and I think similar to Pulisic, I think he thinks he's sick. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
He's
yeah,
always had,
yeah.
he's always, you can never understand why people don't rate him. It's like, bro, because
Oh,
you're
he's
just a bot.
terrible.
Do you know
He's
what I mean? You
fucking
don't
terrible.
belong at a top club.
Um,
That's not your skill set. He's slabhead for a reason. You know what I mean? He
yeah,
heads well,
exactly.
and that's about it. And move on.
Exactly, bruv. Moving on, we've got West Ham are in talks for Ian. Or sorry, they're keen on Ian
Keane.
Matson if Aaron Cresswell departs amid talks with Wolves. Chelsea are yet to make a decision over his future, with Matson making a positive impression on Pochettino. Obviously, he's gone away with the USA people, so
Yep.
he's not in the bomb squad.
Yep.
So
Good.
he's actually gone away and is getting some a game time, I guess. I don't know.
Yep.
I'm guessing in these pre-season friendlies, we're going to make a lot of changes, get everybody a little bit of juice in the old thing. So
Yep.
I'm hoping he gets makes a good impression. I don't think he's that bad. I've seen little bits of him.
Yeah.
What do you reckon of this?
Yeah. Yeah. He is the kind of player that I'd like to see replace Cucurella
Yeah,
in our first team, basically. He had a fantastic season at Burnley. He was named in the Championship Team of the Year. Obviously, they went on to smash the league, and he was a major part of that. I think he got over 8 assists from left wing back, which is pretty impressive.
not bad, not bad.
So I think he's really talented, and he's been around for years. And he's clearly somebody that the club are interested in keeping around, because otherwise he would have been gone by now. So yeah, West Ham can do, and obviously they're flush with cash right now. They're about as rich as they'll ever be. So they're probably just looking around and trying to pick up deals where they can. But I'm hoping, as you said, that Matson can put in a good shift during the preseason, and Pochettino can be like, do you know what? This is my fucking guy. I like this guy. He's bloody brilliant. Let's keep him around and that.
All right, Four Lions.
Yeah. I watched that the other day. Mashallah, brother.
You're streaming from the sun again.
Yeah, I'm sorry, everyone. A curtain will be put up there at some point soon. All right, I don't have the facilities right now. Okay, but I am
got the
working
facilities for that big man.
Yeah.
Okay, moving on. Is that all for the club news for the next hour?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think so. We can move on.
Yeah, we can move on. We're going on to the women's. The WSL fixtures have been announced. The first game of the season is against the shite Spurs on the 1st of October, with Man City coming soon after, and our first away game of the season. We'll play 4 of our home WSL matches at the Bridge this season, with Tottenham being our first one, Liverpool on the 19th of November, Manchester United on the 21st of January, and Arsenal on the 17th of March. 17th of March.
Yeah, I don't get that.
Yeah. Anyway, so that's good.
Yeah,
shitty Spurs, but it is what it is.
I don't like to look too much into like fixtures and what time you play who and that kind of thing.
No.
All I know is that the last game of the season is against Man United on May the 18th. So similar to this season, they pushed us right to the end. They may do the same thing, and that could create a very, very, very tasty last game of the season.
Again, another one.
So keep an eye out for that.
Gonna be class. I think it's good that we're getting more matches at the Bridge. For
definitely,
the
100%.
Especially big matches like these, like Liverpool, Manchester United, Arsenal, Tottenham, maybe not, but like good matches. People are actually going to attend. I have no doubt we'll fill it out. Anyway, the Women's World Cup is 1 day away. So
yes,
I don't know if did you want to break this down?
Yeah, so as we've been counting down, the Women's World Cup starts tomorrow. The first game is New Zealand versus Norway, then Australia after them against the Republic of Ireland. It's important to remember that this is in Australia and New Zealand.
Yeah.
So in terms of being able to watch it, it's going to be tough breath. I mean, just having a quick scan of the first games. The first one's at 8 a.m., there's 11 a.m., and then there's 3:30 a.m.
Imagine getting up at 7 a.m., right? going
Yeah.
like, oh yeah, gonna watch football at 8. Like
Yeah, fuck
it
that,
doesn't
bro.
even
Nah, fuck that.
contemplate. Like even half 12s do me. I'm like, fucking
Yeah,
hell, it's a bit early,
yeah,
isn't
yeah,
it?
England's first game, obviously, that's the team we're most interested in.
Yes,
Is
sir.
on Saturday, the 22nd of July at 10:30.
That's not too bad.
Yeah, and they're against Haiti, so I'm sure they're going to absolutely batter them. But yeah, so where this obviously is important to us is that Chelsea have an unbelievable amount of players representing them at the World Cup this year. In fact, they are the most represented team in the whole world, I believe, at the World Cup. And I'll run through the full representation now. Because we've touched on it a bit, but now we have the final squads. England, Millie Bright will captain. New signing Hannah Hampton, new goalkeeper signing, will be in the squad. Neve Charles, Lauren James, and Jess Carter. Australia, Sam Kerr will also captain the Australians, the Aussies. That's why she's the goal. Germany, Anne-Katrin Berger, Melanie Loopholes, and God, good luck, Shirka Nusken.
Oh, nice.
No, I'll go with that. Will play for Germany. Canada, new signing Ashley Lawrence, Kadisha Buchanan, and Jessie Fleming. Norway, Gura Wrighton, in brackets my queen, and Maren Mjelde will play for
touch
Norway.
on that, or
well, she's a class player, and she's alright.
my queen.
Sweden, Sweden's Chira Musovic and Johanna Rytting Kanjerid. I believe that's how you say it, I don't know. Will play for Sweden. France, Eve Perisset, Netherlands, Annick Nuven, and Japan with Maika Habano. So yeah, we're very, very, very well represented in the World Cup. We'll be keeping an eye on how that progresses. To be honest, I don't even really watch any of the group games of the Men's World Cup, so I'll probably take it more of an interest as things kind of heat up towards the end of the tournament.
Same.
I've got a good feeling about England this year, especially after we just won the Euros. So we're in a very strong spot.
Yeah, but then you got Sam Kerr in Australia.
I know, but that's just one. That's just one. That's just one person. But then she is a baller.
Yeah. So good luck to all of them really. Obviously I want England to win because we're English. So but I wouldn't mind seeing Australia win just for Sam Kerr. Good luck to everyone, and importantly, have fun.
Just have fun, because at the end of the day, that's what it's all about.
Where are we? Academy Defender. Is this meant to be on the youth, or is this women's?
No, this is women's.
Academy Defender, is it Keris? Keris Brown signs first pro contract.
Yeah.
I don't know what that. Go on. What?
4-year deal, I believe.
Okay.
As I said, out of the academy, she is. Her deal is until 2024, with an option to extend by a further year. She's only 18. She joined in August 21. She has made her start. She has started. Sorry, she has made an appearance for Chelsea already. Clearly, she's somebody that they're keeping an eye on. According to the Chelsea website, she's a tenacious and athletic fullback who loves to defend first and foremost. She's proven to be adaptable and possesses versatility in her game, having performed impressively in central defence for club and country last season. So, a name and a player to keep an eye out for.
Okay then.
Yeah.
So
youth
moving
news.
on. Do you want to do the?
Yeah, we actually have some youth news, but it's not the same cookie cutter thing that we have every week. A Chelsea Development 11 played Boreham Wood yesterday in a friendly. They were 3-0 down early in the first half, but came back to end the game with a 3-3 draw. Hudson-Odoi, Castledine, and George scored for the Chelsea side.
My God.
We also got to see appearances from new signings Alex Matos from Norwich and Isha Samuel-Smith from Everton, who, according to our Favy youth reporter, Chelsea Youth on Twitter, acquitted themselves very well.
Okay then. Well, Hudson-Odoi, I swear to God, man, like, is he actually growing? I don't know, because he just seems to be always in the youth team.
Yeah, true.
How
is
old
he
is
like
he
Benjamin Button? He's only 22.
It's taken ages. I mean, come on, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
I'm glad that Castledine scored because I just love his name.
Literally, just being able to say it is always fun.
Honestly, Castledine. I hope he gets first team because I'll get a kit with that on.
Yeah.
Is that all for the youth?
That's all I've managed
to. If you want to see any of the transfers, because there's so many going on, it's unreal. Just head over to Chelsea Youth on Twitter. And yeah, he literally there's so much there. Just go and have a check on his page. Moving on to Rival Watch. Rival Watch. Arsenal have now officially signed Jiren, Timber,
Yes.
and Basmati Rice.
Yeah.
So Pagan.
Yeah. Had to do it to him.
Had to do it. Had to flex on him. 198 million in this transfer window for Arsenal. Takes total transfer expenditure under Mikel Arteta around 720 mil. Still only won the FA Cup. No excuses to not win the league.
Yeah.
Pussy.
So just had to do it to him there briefly. These, by the way, those figures were from Transfermarkt. So if they are wrong, blame Transfermarkt, not me, bro. All right. Declan Rice, British record signing.
Yeah.
105 million, I believe. An unbelievable price for a player who had 1 year left on his contract.
And he's shit.
He's not shit, but he's got 1 year left on his contract, and it's 100 million, bro.
He's not amazing.
It's a bit mad.
We've gone all through this before, but
I know.
Holy shit! Well, what an amount of money Arsenal are spending.
Yes, well, and that's why I thought to put those notes in, because I had to reiterate. Like in his, Arteta came in his first season, still had people like what was it, Ozil, Lacazette, Aubameyang, and them man about, and they won the FA Cup in his first half season against us. Annoyingly, Lampard fucked it. And then since then, they've obviously not gone on. I don't think they've won another FA Cup since then.
No.
So the lights are fucking on for Mikel Arteta and that Arsenal team, because this is now a very, very expensive squad. In fact, apparently it's the most valuable in the world, according to a Twitter post I saw the other day.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, even more expensive than Man City's at this point, apparently.
Mental. And then obviously, can we just touch on the Havertz thing, just to include it in this? Arsenal.
Yeah.
Obviously, that's another 65 million people, right?
Yeah.
And he done an MLS football challenge, which apparently they do every year. I don't know. And Weird. He fucking stunk the gaff out. I watched the highlights of this.
Yeah.
Fucking hell. I was like, welcome to our pain. We see this week in, week out. Shit. No touch, no volley, can't score, doesn't know his fucking head from his fucking shoulders. And honestly, great to see.
Yeah, I know, definitely. Hey, this as we said, this is the summer of snakes. And we're the snake catchers, and we're out keeping an eye on these snakes. I don't know. It's a weird metaphor. The snake wranglers. Hello, boy, I'm a snake wrangler. And it's lovely to see a player who flatters to deceive, go over there and looks, literally his touch is the same as mine. That's embarrassing, bro.
It's so bad. It's so. I mean, I'm a big dude, right? I won't, I am a big dude, but my touch is so much better. I'm more athletic than him. I don't give a fuck. Right?
Also, in the touch and volley thing they did in these challenges, he didn't score a single goal.
No, and apparently he hasn't scored anything.
Yeah, and apparently that's never happened in these MLS challenge things they do. No, so that's funny.
Ever.
He's the first player to never score. Yeah. So good.
Did you see what Arteta done afterwards?
What's that?
Went straight to, is it Empadu?
Oh,
Empu?
Edu, sporting director. Edu,
he went straight to his office apparently and said, "What the fuck is this?"
Big bet. We'll see about that. I don't know how. I don't know the truth of that statement, but I'm gonna agree. I'm gonna just assume it is true because that's funny.
Yeah, because he literally went there and went, "What do you call that? 65 million of a fucking slug out there."
True.
You fucking donkey. Anyway, Sky Sports, Sky Football. What am I saying? Sky Sports Football Podcast, The Overlap, which is a weird name for a football podcast, released an episode that featured an hour-long chat between Dele Alli and Gary Neville. Do you want to touch on this?
Yeah, it is a funny name. I'm guessing it's because Gary Neville.
Yeah,
I guess because Gary Neville's a right back, innit? So right backs overlap and shit. This was an interesting thing that dropped the other day. The interview touched on some very emotive subjects, including like drugs abuse, sleeping tablets, childhood trauma, issues with different managers during his playing career. And I felt like it was just...
and all of that was just at Everton. It's mad.
Yeah, I know. What a time. I just felt like, I think it's very natural and easy to feel skeptical, especially nowadays when life is so hard for so many people. Like, to live in England now, if you're not English, or from the UK, you might not get it, but we've got a terrible government who have absolutely fucked us royally. In so many different ways, but especially with the economy at the moment. So shit is hard, and so it is definitely can be quite difficult to feel empathy for somebody who's a millionaire, ostensibly.
I text you about this when it first came out, and it's one of those you put into perspective for me, but I just have that doubt, and it's like because I don't know, you don't know who to trust anymore. You don't know who to trust, so you're like, is he making this shit up? We don't know. Is he just doing this because he's out of the limelight? How many people do we know that have done that, like celebrity-wise, football-wise, all of it, just to get attention back on them, so people will feel sorry for them, or we'll buy him because blah blah blah. And the thing is, we had Pochettino come out as well in support of Dele Alli.
Yeah.
Do we want him at Chelsea? I don't want him at Chelsea.
No, and I don't think that was ever kind of in the running. I think he was just. I think clearly Pochettino is a very emotional guy, and clearly I think he probably built quite a strong bond with Dele Alli during their time together, and really he suffered quite a lot when Pochettino left because he never really got that opportunity to show himself again. And maybe Pochettino was, a kind of a figure that he needed around to feel confident and to feel like, could play at his best level. And obviously since then, his kind of career has taken a nosedive. I don't know. I think what I liked about the chat was, number one, he was very open and vulnerable. And to talk about some of the subjects that he talked about is not easy to do in public, regardless who you are, especially as a man, with the the sexual abuse stuff he talked about as a child.
Stigma about it.
The stigma, so I like the fact he was given that platform to do it, and the fact that he did it. It is also worth mentioning as well, by the way, that he partly did it because he felt pressure from tabloid media who'd kind of figured out, or who learned that he'd been to rehab and that they were going to publish a story. So he kind of wanted to take control of the narrative himself and do this interview. So worth remembering that it wasn't entirely something that he may have wanted to do, but something that he maybe was kind of half forced to do because he had pressure from tabloids who've had a terrible.
Isn't it? Bloody journos.
I know. Imagine being a fucking journo is terrible. I recommend anyone watch it. If you like football, you don't have to be a Spurs fan, obviously. But if you like football and and you think there's a place for footballers to be a bit more open about what they're going through, and in a way that might be able to help other people, then definitely worth checking out, and bring some tissues because there are some very sad moments.
Saying that, that's one podcast, The Overlap, obviously, go and watch that. There's another podcast called Stephen Bartlett's Diary of a CEO. I watched it. I watch it all the time. That and Happy Hour I am addicted to. But Frank Lampard was on there this week. And basically it was just a long conversation. It was so good just to see him relaxed and just speaking like there was no media influence. There was just, what does he think? How was he going through it? And he actually touched on how bad we were, which was surprising. I thought he was going to be quiet about that. I thought it was just going to be, when he played for us before, his backstory, blah, blah, blah. But it was all that. And like what his thoughts are. And he was actually saying about Mason Mount as well. So,
is he now?
Yeah, right at the end, because Stephen Bartlett is a Manchester United fan. Ooh. So he was saying, is Mason Mount as good as we think he is? And Lampard obviously said, he is amazing. He just obviously this season, bad vibes everywhere. Obviously the contract, he didn't go into the contract, but he was saying the contract, everything like that. And he said he is a quality player. Lampard did say he was sad to see him go from the Blues because obviously Lampard's still a Blue. So it was sad to see, and then it was a really good podcast. If you're a fan of Chelsea, if you're not, don't know why what am I saying? If you, I was going to say, don't know why you're listening to this, but even if you're not, why not? Go and listen to it. Brilliant podcast. Did you listen to it?
No, annoyingly, I think I've been put off by the length of it, which is stupid. I should probably find like a highlights clips of all of
No,
like
honestly,
the kind of
you don't even
yeah.
think about it. Like, there's no
Yeah.
dead air
Well, that's
at
the
all.
weird thing, right? Is I
Yeah,
listen to podcasts all the time.
yeah,
Ones that are like I listen to a gaming one that's literally like can be 4 hours long, and I get through it.
exactly. Yeah,
So I don't know why I haven't. I just been
no,
I don't know
really
off the ball
interesting.
this week.
Really
But
interesting.
again, though, yeah, good to see somebody in the limelight who
Yeah,
has had a lot said about him recently. Come out and give somebody a lot of time and space to like just literally talk about important
yeah,
things, and
yeah,
maybe will help people kind of get a better understanding about
definitely.
who
And you know
Lampard
what?
is as a man.
He talked about when his mum died, and it
Yeah,
was very emotional.
yeah, I bet.
And you got to think, like, back in them times, we didn't even think of it like that.
No,
It was one of his best seasons.
I know
Still,
it's
even
crazy.
after
I
his
know
mum
it's
died,
crazy. It's
he was
crazy.
still. I think he still scored something ridiculous, or assisted 30 goals, scoring assist 30 goals.
Yeah,
It's like, it's ridiculous. So, even he said I was still playing amazing.
yeah,
I was just I can't. He said he can't remember any of it. It was cracking
yeah,
podcast.
yeah,
Basically said when he took over Chelsea from Potter,
yeah.
everybody was in the dumps, bruv. He said,
Really.
I had 7 weeks. There was not
Yeah,
much I could do. He
yeah,
said everyone was just out of it. He said as soon as we hit that training ground, it
yeah,
was ropes. It was fucking ropes. He was like everybody just wanted to leave. He said
wow.
everyone just didn't want to play. You had
Yeah,
30 odd people to manage, or
yeah,
30 plus people to manage. And he said, how are you meant to give everybody game time?
yeah,
And you got these players week in, week out sort of thing. And he's like, you don't know what to do with that many people. And he
yeah,
said the training ground was just abysmal and the vibes were terrible. He said, everything was going against him, sort of thing. And then obviously the media. He said, I don't know what else to do. So,
hmm
it was just nice for him to say like his piece, because obviously we say our piece every week.
exactly.
Like, it's
And
just
it's
nice
easy
for
for
someone
us
else.
not really knowing what's actually happening, is there?
Exactly. We can criticize all we want because we're like, why is he making this decision? This decision, like, you don't know what's going on, but
Yeah,
we just take it for face value, and people like, 108 people at the moment like our opinion. So hopefully, more people do. But yeah, please go and check out Diary of a CEO, the Frank Lampard podcast, and obviously check out the Overlap, the Sky Sports Football podcast, with Gary Neville and Dele Alli. Moving on, we just got one more bit of news, and it's from United. Absolute twats. They have signed. Well, are they? Has he actually signed yet? I don't know if it's
well,
confirmed.
it's a here we go moment from
Oh,
Romano,
here we
and
go.
I've doubted that in the past, but they do normally come through, don't they?
They do.
So
They do.
apparently Andre Onana has been spotted at Milan airport flying out, so that's
Right.
pretty concrete. Obviously, I only put it in really because I know that we were linked with him quite a lot earlier on
I
in
can't
in
believe
the
this. I
season.
can't believe this. So Inter Milan basically said, "Fuck off, Chelsea."
Yeah,
United's come along and said, "Can we have Onana?" And they went,
yeah,
"Yeah, how much?"
yeah. I
Like
know.
that.
Yeah, yeah. How much you
That's
want?
it. There wasn't
Yeah,
even a fight.
I know.
There was it. Ridiculous.
Yeah,
Ridiculous.
it's mad, bro.
Honestly, they got some
Yeah,
like agenda against us. As you said last
Italian
podcast,
clubs, bro.
I only want AC Milan to
AC
deal with
Milan,
now.
exactly.
Everybody
Yeah,
else,
exactly.
fuck off.
They can do one. Yeah, so yeah, he was signed for United, Andre Onana. I don't, whatever. Obviously, we don't want to see him do well, really.
No, no.
But and De Gea has now officially left after
Quality
like 10
keeper
years. Yeah, no, good player.
Yeah,
He looked good in that Champions League run-in, so it is an improvement on their squad.
yeah,
But similarly to Mikel Arteta, it's another manager who's now spent a lot of money on that squad.
yeah.
And the lights are going to be on him big time, and he, that bald prick better fucking pull something out of the hat.
Definitely. Yeah, I think, is that it? Are we good?
I think
that's
so.
it for
Yeah.
this
The
week.
only thing I've left to mention is that I've just seen a clip of David Datro Fofana scoring a goal in preseason for Union Berlin, and
Oh
it
yeah,
was
yeah.
a really good goal. So
He's a
I'm
baller,
glad to
bruv.
see he started well. I'm glad to see he started well.
Bowler. Okay, yeah, that's it. So that's it for this week. Obviously, there's going to be shit tons of news in the next week. If there is loads of stuff, or if there's like important stuff, Bo will do a little update video on the weekend. But yeah, that's it for the podcast this week. Please like, subscribe. Thank you for subscribing if you have. We'll keep this up. bloody can't wait until the season starts. We're gonna do a little thing soon where we're gonna do a little prediction of the season stand-ins and stuff like that, and we've got other little things to include into the podcast other than transfers news. So yeah, I think that's it. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. And this is I've been Clark. this has been my illustrious co-host Bo. And as always, up the Chelsea.
Thanks for listening to The Pride. If you enjoyed what you heard, feel free to leave us a review on your podcast app of choice, and maybe drop a like or follow on our YouTube, Twitter, TikTok and Instagram pages. And as always, up the Chelsea.